Today on Tony's Backyard Garage, we're going to be laying some primer. As you see, I got the garage all prepped up for some primer. Don't want all the overspray to get on my tools and equipment. But yeah, I ran around and sanded the whole car with 180 grit dry. I wax and grease removed the whole entire car twice. I took the trunk and the front fenders and the hood off. I'm gonna do that at a later date. But yeah, I'm getting ready to do it. Finally, it's been a cold winter, and it's finally warm enough to lay some primer down. Last year I did the whole car in epoxy primer, as you can see, but now as I was sanding, a lot of areas got exposed metal. So I'm going to lay down some more epoxy primer. And then after that, lay down some high build primer. So let's get started. Okay. We're getting ready to mix this epoxy primer. It's from Eastwood. Open the sucker up. I've got my stir stick ready. I've got my mask ready. Let me see here. Let me get the filter ready. Filters are ready. Gloves are ready. Let's do this. It's about time. Doesn't look like much. It's like water. But, I have to mix it up. Let me get a rag. Get some rags ready. Right here. Big globs of it. It has to flow like paint once it's all stirred in there. So this might take a while. Just take your time. Make sure it's last thing you want to do is screw up the base of your paint job. So just epoxy. A little trick I was showing on how to pour this stuff. You can get those things from Home Depot that when you pour, it stops it from going all over the can. I'm just gonna do this. I would have used that from the Home Depot, the pour clip thing. I'm not sure what you call it, but it just clips onto the can, and you can pour it. I'll use that. So here, these mixing cups, they give you all these ratios. 1:1, 2:1, 3:1. 3-1-1-1. So this is 1:1. So this mixing cup is right here, 1:1, and then the last column shows you percentage, like 30% for a reducer. But we're not going to use that, so we're just going to go use the first. I'm not sure if you can see that. First two columns, 1:1. So I'm just going to fill it up to the 4 on this first column, and 4 on the second column. That should give me the proper, better. Alright, here we go. An old paintbrush, I guess, like that. Put that on there. Now the catalyst. Jeez. Must be childproof. Just over 4. There, just over 4. Filter. Okay. All right. Done. I think I'm looking for like a vertical pattern. You can have it horizontal or vertical, but or round maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I want. All right. Okay, let's go out into the garage. Sorry, out into the backyard there, on the driveway, and do the trunk. See you in a bit. There we go. Here's the trunk. I'm just going to do the bottom side of the trunk. You need to allow 30 minutes before you can put another coat on there. So we'll go back inside and work on the car. So here's the car. It's 2 coats of epoxy primer. Yeah, so here it is. Still a lot of work left, a lot of imperfections. You can see up in like right up in here. I don't know if you can see that or not. See, there's little marks there, but that's all over the place. I think even in there, still a lot of touch-ups. This is only the epoxy primer. I'll be putting 2 coats or 3 coats of high build primer. But I'll just let this sit overnight and roll the car out of the garage. I'm going to set up the hood, the trunk, and the fenders on the floor, or hang them. I'm not too sure yet. And I'll give those a coat tonight also. So that's it for now. So there's the hood and fender. I'm going to now hold this thing out, roll it out of the garage, and I'm going to set up those 2 pieces, well, and the other fender and the trunk, and maybe hang it up somewhere up in here. Now I brought in the hood, the fenders, the trunk. It's right there. There's the back side of the trunk. I did that outside. So I'm now getting set to do this. I wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but I figure like everything's already out, so I might as well finish off the fenders and the hood and the trunk. I already had the gun cleaned up. Here's all the parts. The pain in the butt cleaning the gun, but time for reassembly. Looks okay. This is the this is a 1 point. Oops. A 2.3 nozzle. Eastwood recommends, I think, a maximum of 1.8. But, oh well, this is what I had. It seems to work okay. Let me put the needle in. These spray guns are very cheap. These are just Harbor Freight cheap guns. I mean, for epoxy, this is all you need. You don't need anything fancy. When I do spray the base, I do have an Atom spray gun. I'll use that to do the base. I think that has a 1.2 tip. Screw this in. This adjustment here is an adjustment that allows fluid or whatever material to go through the gun. The tighter you go in, the less material will go through the gun. I'm just screwing it, and see, it actually stops the handle from going in all the way. If I push back, see? So that's allowing that needle to go out further, like retract it further, and more fluid would be sucked in. So I want full control here. So I'll just turn this in until it hits there. So now I know when I squeeze the sucker in, I get a maximum amount of flow. And I can't remember. I'll leave it like that. I think if you leave this nozzle like the tip like this, it gives you a vertical spray pattern, I think. Normally there's a filter in here, but we're going to use this filter here, so there's no need to have that filter in there. I just used, just so you know, is lacquer thinner to clean the gun. I don't use lacquer thinner to mix with the urethane epoxy because that's not compatible. That will screw up your paint job, so I'm told. This is just a little breather. Allows air to go into the chamber here, so fluid can go into the gun, material can go into the gun. All right, that's done. Make sure it's all good. And this dial gives a round spray pattern. So the more you turn it to the right, the more of a ball-shaped pattern it is. The more to the left, the more like vertical or horizontal the spray pattern is.